All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is April 19th. We got ourselves a Friday. Happy Friday out there to you. We got the Eastern Conference play-in game, the final play-in game here to dive into in today's video. We'll also have the Western Conference one in its own video, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, we're going to be looking at the Heat taking on the Bulls. The Heat being the team that this is their second chance. The Bulls winning their first play-in spot, so now they have a chance to battle the Heat here, and winner advances to the playoffs. Right now, we got the Heat as favorites ever so slightly, minus 1.5 points in the total of 205.5. We'll go through both of those as well as some player props in today's video. I'll give you my lean on the spread, lean on the total, and then lean on some player props. So keep an eye on the pinned comment. That is where all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself, all of those plays will live. So make sure to keep an eye on that. In terms of how we did the other night, we cashed 4-1 night. We'll take it. We had the over in that Heat and Sixers game. That was an absolute sweat. And then we had Highsmith. I think I spelled his name wrong there. Highwood Highsmith. Over 8.5 PRA. That one cashes. He hit it in just points, I believe. And then Kelly Oubre was our flyer, plus 140 play. He does not come through. But we had a mini sweep in the Bulls and Hawks game. Two Hawks players. Trae Young, we faded under 23.5 points. And then Bogdanovich, over 2.5 three-pointers made. That cashes as well. But the fun and good vibes do not stop there. Our ride of the day. An easy, sweat-free cash from Official Classic here. Had Tyler Hero over 4.5 assists. Hero ended with 9 assists, so take another cha-ching from the soundboard. Shout out to Classic here. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, all you have to do is use hashtag ride of the day in the comments. Give me an absolute banger of a pick, and I'm jumping on board with one person's pick and giving you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. If you win like Classic did, we continue to ride with your pick. So looking forward to seeing what Classic gets in there today. Just got to make sure you get it in by around 2:30 Eastern time. If you don't, re-ride with someone else. So make sure to get those ride of the days in there. And yeah, let's get cooking here, guys. One game to break down in this video. Make sure you guys do go check out the second video. It'll probably be posted a little bit after this, but that's going to be the Sacramento and New Orleans game as well. So let's start with the Miami side of things here. Unfortunately, Jimmy Butler bangs up his knee in that game against the Sixers the other night, which is unfortunate because now the Heat are down Terry Rozier as well as Jimmy Butler. Duncan Robinson looks like he's a game time decision as well. On the side for the Bulls, Dosunmu and Caruso have been on the injury report for a while here, yet they both played in that play, and so hoping that they play for, I guess, the spirit of competition, right? Like, I hate to see guys be injured like Butler, which totally could impact the Heat season here. But where I come out from a spread perspective is still going to probably be, and this is most likely my least confident play on the board, okay? So keep that in mind, and I'm transparent enough to tell you that. I still think that I lean towards the Heat, as weird as it may sound. I don't think Kobe White's going to give you 42 points. Again, they're playing a much better defensive team. I don't think DeMar and, Vucevic are going to combine for near 50 points. Like, I think that this is going to be kind of a reality check for Chicago in the sense that, yeah, Jimmy Butler's out, massive blow to our team, but we're still a very defensive sound team. The way these two teams have played this season, they've split. They've all been fairly close games, but back in mid-November, Bulls won 102-97 in Chicago. Then they played a couple days later in Chicago again. Miami wins 118-100, so there's the non-close game. Then about a month later, mid-December, they play in Miami. Chicago wins 124-116, and then a couple days later, they play in Miami again, and Miami wins 118-116. So these are two teams that are gonna, battle it out and stay close to one another. And in terms of Jimmy Butler playing in those 4 games from the season's matchup, he was there for all of them. So it's kind of like, okay, yeah, you can make the argument that they split the season series and now arguably Miami's best player is out as well. Like, why would you lean towards Miami? Well, the fact that they're still favorites in this spot, like it kind of is telling, to be honest. And we look at it from a line movement perspective, like Miami sat there, opened up at -1.5. They even got up to -2.5, back down to 1.5, up to 2.5. Like, this has never really flipped to the Chicago side of things. So the books are they're kind of telling a story here that, yes, Jimmy Butler matters. Maybe this spread is lower than it would have been, but they're still the favorites here in Miami, and they are, a higher seed overall here as well. So I don't necessarily think that the Jimmy Butler injury is going to talk me into Chicago. That's how I'd put it, because I would be on Miami already. Jimmy Butler out doesn't make me lean towards Chicago versus, maybe just second guessing. Like I said, my least favorite play on the board, but maybe I second guess Miami now, but I don't think it gets me to the Chicago side of things overall. They're still a very defensive oriented team, and I do think that they can match up pretty damn well against this Bulls team. You're going to probably get a lot more minutes from, potentially looking at Martin, and even Patty Mills might get some more minutes here. So Miami becomes a little bit more offensive. I get that because Tyler Hero's going to continue to run the point here. Jaime Jaquez is going to get more minutes. So you have guys coming off the bench that definitely have playoff experience and, can be good defenders. But I do think that Miami gets a little bit more offensively sound because Jimmy Butler at times, not to say he was disappearing later on in the year, but late in the games, like the dude really wasn't doing much. It's been the Tyler Hero show. Nonetheless, I'm getting on a tangent here. I do think that they still match up well. I think, Jaime Jaquez kind of fills in those roles. He's a good defender and a grindy player. So I don't think you lose much defensively. As crazy, I'll sound the cycle alarm. As crazy as it sounds, I don't think you lose that much defensively in terms of this matchup here. In terms of the total, that's where I end up really liking the over. Jimmy Butler being out and potentially seeing more minutes or more shots from Tyler Hero, more minutes from, a scorer like Patty Mills, Duncan Robinson if he's in there, Jaime Jaquez, who's definitely going to want to get to the rim, Caleb Martin. Like I do think that you have a little bit more of an offensive bump, an offensive game plan as the Heat if Jimmy Butler's out, and you probably play with a faster pace too, right? So I like the over 205 in this spot. And remember, I just read off the 4 games that these two teams have played this season, right? Only one of those went under, and it was pretty damn close to this number to begin with. So I could see this easily being a 210 and beyond game. Again, we're not asking for a million points in this spot whatsoever. You do have 2 very slow-paced teams, and I understand that. But Jimmy Butler not being in there, more minutes and more shots to some of the other guys, I think the pace could up. And we saw Chicago say, okay, we're cool with playing fast basketball when they played Atlanta, right? So if the pace even just remotely upticks in this spot, we should cruise over to 205.5 there. And plus, if you look at the way this has been moving, right? Like this is a total that started at 208. It went down. It got down to 205. And then clearly people are still, looking at that saying, okay, wait, that's a doable number. Books bumped back up to 205.5. So this may continue to rise throughout the day. I'm not sure because it's been not all that much movement, but it seems like that bottom line was 205, right? So that means that's right when the books got a little uncomfortable about the number and people taking the over. They bumped it up a half point. So curious to see what this line does throughout the day, but I like the over more than anything probably in this game. I do have a couple player props that I like that we can dive into here. But first, let me talk to you guys about the sleeper deal going on. This is going to be for De'Aaron Fox in the second play-in game tonight, but they have a free square, 0.5 points for Fox. If you guys do want to check that out, that link will be in the pinned comment. Sleeper is a player prop app. It's absolutely awesome. You combine 2 or more players into a slip. The more you win, the more you get paid out. You can win up to 100 times over there, and you get this free square if you're a new user today using the link in the pinned comment, and you get 100% of your first deposit matched. How much better can the deal get? Go ahead and check out Sleeper, guys. They drop discounts all the time. You guys see me posting it on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and the YouTube Shorts as well, right? Go follow me on Instagram there, huh? But yeah, go ahead and check out Sleeper, guys. That link is in the pinned comment. Let's jump into one of the player props that I like today, and I know I just talked about how Jimmy Butler being out is going to lead to more shots and blah, blah, blah for Tyler Hero, but I still think that the books overinflated the hell out of this PRA line. It's at 37.5 now, and I like the under. You could see 4 games in a row he's gone under against the Chicago team. Without Jimmy Butler, 1 game he's gone under. On the season without Jimmy Butler, he's gone under in all but 2 games. That's 12 of the 14 he played without Jimmy. And I just think this is a good spot. Look at it. He's going to be in the point guard position. Bulls on the season, 4th fewest points allowed, 6th fewest rebounds allowed. They do allow a decent amount of assists, kind of middle of the pack. So my second, if you wanted to pivot from this one, would probably ultimately be Tyler Hero's under 31.5 points plus rebounds, because I could see them swarming him and him actually getting a lot of assists today. So that definitely would be somewhat of a pivot, if you ask me. And honestly, on the season, 37 or 34 minutes, right? Without Jimmy Butler, he still averaged 34 minutes in those games without him. So I don't see a minute increase coming from him. Shots per game, you could see 17.7 attempts per game. We say without Jimmy Butler, averaging 19, so only 2 more shots. Like, I don't think that there's enough that warrants him to jump up to, 31 PR or 37.5 PRA. So those are 2 plays that I'm liking on the Jimmy Butler side, with the Jimmy Butler absence that we're kind of capitalizing on for Tyler Hero. You can get this for -118 on DraftKings. That's your best bet there. For the under PRA, you can get that for -112 over on DraftKings as well. So good deals compared to other sports books there. Second pick is going to be another fade of a star on the team. DeMar DeRozan under 26.5 points. He's been under in all but 2 games, and just one this season he went over by a half of a point, winning that. So not necessarily something I'm going to write home. He's starting at the power forward, Miami allowing the fewest points to the power forward position. Now, he's not going to get the Jimmy Butler treatment or anything like that, so that worries me a little bit, but this guy has been on such a tear as of late. You see 30 plus, that this line in and of itself is a little bit boosted. And overall, DeMar DeRozan is going to get a lot of pick and roll ball handler opportunities and a lot of ISO opportunities and everything like that, and I just don't necessarily see him having the easiest of success, and he likes to get the foul line a lot. Miami doesn't foul scores all that much, so DeMar DeRozan under in points is another lean that we're looking at here. Make sure to keep an eye on the pinned comment for all of my final plays. Again, to summarize, Heat spread, probably my least favorite pick. I like the over. I think that's way too low of a number in a game that could get a little bit more paced, and then I like the under for Tyler Hero, no matter how you want to play him, PRA, PR, that type of thing. Then DeMar DeRozan's under in points. And if you guys do want to check out this tool, the one that I was just looking at here, the green and red, this is called Outlier. There'll be a link in the pinned comment. You guys can sign up. You get 7 days free just with that link. No code needed. After that, it's $19.99 a month, which I think is a very good price for what you're getting. They also have a premium plan that's $80 a month. It includes positive EV, how to use your boosts, arbitrage betting, and middle betting. But for the games and the props and all that, you get this for $20 a month, which is absolutely a steal. But you get it for 7 days free. Use that link in the pinned comment. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. Make sure to check out that Western Conference playing video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.